you volunteer on a daily?
Sometimes.
Well, I say that volunteering is much needed in anybody's community. What I'm going to explain to you is volunteering in your community more so on poverty, people who struggle with poverty. According to Martin Luther King Jr., life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? I say that is a strong question because most people wouldn't even think about doing anything for anyone else but themselves. And if you go into neighborhoods where people struggle on a daily basis, you have to feel something in your heart to try to help out and give back as much as you can. So I'm going to talk about what is the importance of giving back to your community, ways you can volunteer, and how it brings value to your own life. Randy Lewis, author of No Greatness Without Goodness, says, do you feel a personal responsibility to help others? I personally feel like I should help others. I don't know if God placed it upon my heart to help those in need, but every time I see someone on the street with a sign that says, I need help with food, anything of those natures, I want to give as much as I can. DoSomething.org says, in 2012, 49 million households are without no food. DoSomething.org also says 1 in 6 senior citizens in America may not know where their next meal is coming from. Those are the type of things that you can think of. Why is it important to give back to your community? The needs of the community needs more volunteers, workers in food pantries and shelters. They need basic necessities, and they have lack of water, healthcare, clothes. I volunteer at a shelter called Mission. Can't think of the name right now. I'm drawing a blank. But I go there at least twice a month, and it helps out a lot. So now that I've talked about why is it important to give back, I'm going to give you ways of how you can go and give back to your community. You can go to your local shelters, soup kitchen. With the soup kitchen, you can go and serve food. You can go do storage cleanups, anything they need help with. You can be an assistant. So when I do volunteer at the shelter, I go in there for lunch or breakfast, and I serve food to those who are homeless, some that stay there that are without jobs. They fell on a hard time, so now they need a place where they can just build themselves back up. So I go there twice a month, serve food, and to see those smiles on their face brings joy to my life. You can sign up for Big Brother, Big Sister program. When I was younger, I actually had a big sister, and she helped me with things that no one could understand. She came to my school at least once a month, and she just sat there and she helped me with homework. Sometimes she even donated clothes, toys, whatever she could for me. Social Impact Exchange says more than 100 years, Big Brother, Big Sister's largest evidence-based mentoring program in the country has operated under the belief that inherent in every child is the ability to succeed. So if you think that you can inherit a mentoring to kids from 6 to 18 years of age, and you think how you can turn their lives around from having nothing to something, how would that make you feel? Wouldn't that make you feel like you're doing something great for a greater cause? Now that we know some ways you can give back, you can also do toy drives, food drives, clothes drives. You can set it up in your workplace, at your churches, wherever you think you need to get it going. Set up a box, get donations, give it out. Now that we know how we can give back, let's talk about how it can also bring joy to your life and bring value. You get to meet different people from all different walks of life. They can tell you their whole background, sometimes how they fell on hard times and how it's bringing them into just to get back on their feet. And you can also think about how bringing joy to someone else's life can also bring joy to your life. I'm very appreciative for everything that I have, and I'm grateful that I can give what I can give. Being committed to something larger than yourself, you can have a effect on others around you. So when I'm at work and I try to set up volunteer events, my coworkers want to come out and volunteer as well. Seeing how one time we went to the soup kitchen and we were cleaning out a freezer. Rats ran out of the freezer. Like, how did rats get into the freezer? Maybe because it had the boxes that sometimes were donated had rats in it, but they would have never knew it. We would have never cleaned out the freezer. So if we do our part and volunteer at least once a month, we can make a difference in anybody's life. Being committed to help can also show that you as a person have so much to give, whether it's lending a hand, bringing food, even just talking to someone. That will do much great to anyone's life. Now that we know the importance of giving back, why it is important to give back, ways that you can give back, and how volunteer can impact your life. That's volunteermatch.org says you make a living by what you get, but you make a life by what you give. Quoted Winston Churchill. So now that you know that the importance of giving back, you can go out and you can do as much as you can. If it's just a little as donating a toy to children, especially with this upcoming Christmas. If you go to give a toy to a shelter, maybe that kid will, make something better of the circumstances that they're in. But I strongly suggest you go out and you volunteer. It is very important, and me personally, I'm blessed to make people go out and do something for their community, and hopefully you can too.